In general, I don't like to say things like the Democrats are screwing this up, the Democrats are making this mistake, the Democrats aren't trying hard enough, for a couple of reasons. One is there is no the Democrats in American politics. There's a lot of Democratic politicians, there's Democratic voters, and there's some not very powerful Democratic bodies like state parties and things like that. So the Democrats is kind of a lazy and analytical term. However, it is noticeable and important to notice right now that many in the Democratic Party at high levels still don't understand the depth of the crisis, the depth of the constitutional and political crisis in which we find ourselves. The Republican Party, for their part, keeps exacerbating these problems by acting in ways that are fundamentally undemocratic and against the Constitution. The Supreme Court's decision on the Texas abortion law indicates they're not interested in the Constitution. They're interested in creating a right-wing theocracy. The Republicans in the House and leadership of the Republican Party across the board response to January 6th indicates they're not interested in the Constitution or fair elections. They're interested in staying in power and staying out of jail. And the Democratic Party the leadership of the Democratic Party, the elected officials, the senators, the president must recognize this and must recognize what we are up against. And when people like Joe Manchin say we need to hit the pause button, that just speaks to the absurdity that so many of the leadership in the Democratic Party won't say out loud. With regards to Joe Manchin, we need to hit the eject button, not the pause button. And I know that there's no alternative to Joe Manchin because if he leaves, you get a Republican. But the Republicans aren't playing constitutional hardball. They're playing unconstitutional hardball. And the Democrats need to respond by playing hardball of their own, whether that means expanding the size of the Supreme Court, bringing the District of Columbia in as a state, and making absolutely sure that everyone in America has an unalterable right to vote if they are eligible. All of those things. That is what the Democratic Party should be doing now. Thinking about what the Republican Party and the Roberts Court thinks and acting as if they care about the Constitution, acting as if the other party cares about due process and the law is a big mistake that is only going to make things worse.